Jerusalem. See, the Palestinian refugee issue, which you hear about infrequently, is when Israel was attacked the day after they became a nation, in May 15, 1948, by Saudi Arabia and Lebanon and Jordan and Egypt and Syria. And Israel defeated them. But these Arab countries said, Arabs of Palestine, it was Palestine then, there was Jews of Palestine and Arabs of Palestine, get out of here, we're going to wipe out the Jews, and when we finish them off, you can come back. Well, Israel finished them off, and that developed the Palestinian refugee issue. And those Arabs of Palestine have been living in second and third class capacities in tent cities in Lebanon and Jordan and Syria and a few other countries around the Middle East. They have been pawns in the peace process. That's the refugee problem. And then the division of Jerusalem. Netanyahu says it's not divided or can't be divided. And many people in Israel do not want to see Jerusalem divided. So there's a possibility that we will see a covenant with no actual land transfer or very little based on contingencies, and a possibility of those contingencies not being made. And then 3.5 years into the 7-year deal, everything explodes, moving into the final period of time leading up to Armageddon. Satan's wrath, God's wrath, Armageddon, and then Jesus Christ's return. But what's also interesting is we've heard about the two witnesses of Revelation. David spoke about that today during our panel discussion. And Moses and Elijah, which most people believe that's who they will be given great power. And they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth, from Jerusalem. And this will lead to 144,000 on-fire Jewish evangelists that will lead Jews and Muslims and Hindus and atheists and agnostics to Jesus Christ. But what's interesting today, and I wrote about this last year, I started seeing all this technology that we work with, that we love using. It was all being developed in Israel. I mean, I've known this over a while, but all of a sudden the Lord connected the dots for me. The final day technology infrastructure started in Israel. Some of the most advanced computer chips started at Intel, Israel. The Wi-Fi Centrino computer chip that makes Wi-Fi possible, which is all over the world, and probably over 200 countries now, was developed in Intel, Israel. Voice over the internet, Skype, and others developed in Israel. The flash drive developed in Israel by an engineer that worked for Intel, Israel, who was born in Israel. Compression technology, which is going to allow a better quality video on your smartphones, on your cell phones, developed in Israel. Virus protection, firewall technology, and many others, but these are key components to the final day communication network. Is going to allow the 4 billion people around the world right now that has cell phones, out of 6.9 billion people, just think 4 billion people in the world today have cell phones. And the technology is improving so rapidly that right now a third of the phones are smartphones, and then it could be a chance in a couple of years it could be close to 80%, maybe up to 100% will have smartphone capabilities with high compression technology, which will allow you to sit there on your cell phone and watch Elijah and Moses from Jerusalem. For those left behind.
That's right. Thanks for saying that.
And right there on the screen, that is from my iPhone. This is a brand new iPhone application, and that's the Western Wall, and I can sit on my phone 24/7, except during Shabbat, and watch people walking around the Western Wall in Jerusalem. So if you want it, you can go into Google, put hotel, for the Western Wall iPhone app, A-P-P, and you can put that on your cell phone, and I've been watching this week just in fascination. People walking around the Western Wall in Jerusalem. Well, how about Moses and Elijah sitting there? Watching on the world watching on their iPhone app. These two people declaring Yeshua to be their Lord and Savior. And then Intel is ran by a Jew. The American Intel, a Hungarian Jew, moved to the United States, set up Intel Israel. Google, Sergey Brin, and his partner Larry Page are both Jewish. Sergey Brin is a Russian Jew. They developed the search engines like no other, and the Android phone system. The iPhone developer, Steve Jobs, the brainchild, a Jewish man, was the lead engineer that developed the iPhone, which has changed cell phone technology as we know it. The Jewish gentleman, young man, Mark Zuckerberg, that started Facebook and now has 500 million worldwide. That's a little less than 20% of the world is on Facebook. Well, I think they're going to be used too in a very significant way. And then the head of Dell, Michael Dell, is Jewish. So we have the Israeli communication development, the end-time communication development that started in Israel, and a Jewish tech infrastructure here in the United States. But a great time, during this period of time, the Jews will mourn for the one they pierced, and their declaration will lead to Yeshua's return. During the final 42 weeks, the Jews will mourn for the one they pierced. This is exciting. They will not see the Messiah until they say, "Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." And I tell my Jewish Orthodox friends and some of the conservative Reform Jews that are amazed how well the Christians know the Bible, even to the extent we know it better than them. There's a couple White House correspondents that are even Orthodox Jews, and I'm telling them, watch Ezekiel 38 and 39. You need to watch Zechariah 12 and 14, Joel 3:2. You really need to look at Daniel 9:27, and this is the reason. And then I'm telling my Middle Eastern friends, you've heard of Armageddon, haven't you? Yeah. Well, what's great about Armageddon, almost the entire world has heard of Armageddon. So it has led me the opportunity to share with four good Middle Eastern friends working at the White House the fact that Armageddon is a battle for Jerusalem, the final battle, and explain on how these wars in Ezekiel 38 and 39 are fascinated by it. They've never heard it. And it's also neat to see the Jewish people and the Orthodox Jews in the White House press room get along well with the Middle Eastern correspondents from Gaza, from Morocco, from Basra, Iraq. And it's just fantastic to see this. But I'm having the opportunity to speak into these people's lives about the biblical significance of the times we're living in. And also, of that 6 or 7 that I mentioned, I'm the only one that is not from a replacement theology church in the White House press corps, the best I can tell. But I do have some good fellowship up there because some of the high-tech guys and some of the camera guys are like me. We love prophecy. So I'm over there sharing stuff with them, and they're sharing stuff with me. But we're praying for the White House correspondents that will come around to understand that these biblical terms that they use to explain some events will be used once again to explain the final day events. But the White House has had a very significant biblical role. This is a very significant role. We have been, as said in this conference, we in the United States, as Tim LaHaye said today, the United States has been a great friend of Israel for many, many years, and we've been blessed. Our Congress right now overwhelmingly supports Israel. We had twice in the last 22 months, we had the Senate, 80 out of 100 senators, and another time 84 out of 100 senators. Right, the White House says you cannot unilaterally pressure Israel to push on them and not push on the Arabs too. And secondly, that Israel should not be required to do anything that is going to affect their security. And also, a day after the very contentious health care debate, half of Congress was at the Jewish AIPAC event. AIPAC is the largest Jewish lobby group, and leaders of both the Democrats and Republicans says when it comes to Israel, there is no such thing as partisanship. We are nonpartisan when it comes to Israel. And this is a blessing. And our presidents have been put in a role to be the ones